Okie dokie, as they say. This is Hell Is Us by Rogue Factor and Steam Code, very generously provided by Rogue Factor and GeForce Now, my favourite cloud gaming platform, who are, of course, launching a 5 series service in the next few days. So, mega excited about that. Let's get down to it. I don't know whether the music is copyright managed, DMR. We'll soon see if I suddenly get kicked off or demonetized. Either of those two, highly likely. I'm just going to very quickly get the stream up on my phone so that I can see any chatter that may or may not exist, or even if make sure we're live here, because I'm not seeing it. As I look on my phone, I see no sign of life. It does say I'm streaming here though, so we'll. It's the one thing I do find a bit annoying about the YouTube app. It's kind of got a mind of its own, and typically I have to go to YouTube Studio, a separate app, to actually see what I'm doing. Which at the moment it's not a huge amount according to this. Not totally convinced that we are live. Let me pull up a browser and see if I can see me. Apologise. No, it does. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Typical. I am absolutely live. But unfortunately, you wouldn't know it looking on the app, and I doubt that it's told anybody that I am either, because YouTube is useless. Kind of is broken. I mean, they don't. You have to understand where they're coming from. They need to. It's a bit like Google full stop, the search engine. They need to match people to what they think they're looking for, but of course that in and of itself is a bit of a vicious circle, because how do you know what you're looking for if sometimes it's not served up to you? Okay, well, this is going to get a bit odd. I think what I'll do is bring this over here, just testing. As far as I'm aware, and hello to the 2 other folk that have just joined. Thank you very much. This is Hell Is Us, code provided by Rogue Factor and GeForce Now. Now, I have no idea whether the majority of the world is seeing this. I'm going to assume that it's kind of happening. And we'll just get on with the game for what it's worth. This is not, as you can see here, I've already played 3 hours of the game. The first mission, which I believe is also available as a demo, but I didn't see the demo, is really a tutorial. I wouldn't say that there's an excessive amount to the game in terms of what you need to learn. There's certainly a lot simpler around. But it is different. It's kind of an RPG, I guess. I guess that's probably the closest thing to what it is. There's not really any survival elements, not really any roguelite. You do have manual save positions that you need to choose to save. There's no auto-save, and they can be quite spread out, so on that basis, if you die, you go back to the last save point, but thankfully you don't lose all the progress. So you do, I think you do lose some of your health benefits and that kind of stuff. But fundamentally, you go back to where you last saved, which, as I've said, can be quite some distance. And there's one there. So as you can see, I've fired back into the game, and it has put me back to the save point. So whenever you're looking to get out of the game, make sure you go back to a save point or find a new one, so that when you leave, you don't lose any actual in-game progress, so to speak. You can interact with most of the characters. You have a talk or a trade icon. Trade really isn't... They're not shops. They're not a shop. Well, this is looking a bit choppy. I'm just looking at the screen. Let me just go back to OBS and see what's going on here. So it says it's 60 frames per second, and it hasn't technically missed any frames, so I'm not sure why it's looking a little bit chipper. Let me put it up to 1440. Oh, yeah, that looks okay. Weird. Probably just because I've got so much going on. Any road up. First things first, although there's no real adult content in the game, it is, of course, a semi-horror. I say the semi because I've yet to have any jumps, but, you know, it's meant to have monsters and stuff, so not one for the younger folk. Just putting it out there. So when it says trade, it doesn't mean that they're a vendor in the traditional trade scenario. It literally means that if you've got something on you, you can offer it to them. Sometimes in a mission, their little submission, they'll make it very obvious what they're looking for. For example, I have a mission currently, and you saw just now some bottles, baby milk bottles at the top. Let's go find, where are they? Inventory, I think. Yeah, there they are. So I have to fill those with milk and take them to a woman who is nursing a baby in a dungeon. And that's kind of the game. You have to make your way around, solve little puzzles. The game doesn't give you a map per se. It does give you an overview when you're back at your base, which is a vehicle, which you go back to from a manual save point, which you probably want to do because typically you leave it some distance from wherever you're playing. I'm just looking at the stream. It is a little bit choppy, which is weird because it's not reporting as such within OBS. Any road up, it is what it is. I can't do a great deal about that right now, so we'll leave it as it is. So the game doesn't give you any clues. I say that it kind of does. It just doesn't give you anything in the HUD or the UI. So if we go back to this data pad, let's call it a tablet, and let's go back to inventory, for example, and there's those milk bottles. So it tells us where it found them. It doesn't tell us what we need to do with them. But if we go to, let's see, investigation, for example, which is kind of our journal, we can read up on stuff in here and find clues as to what we need to do next. So, for example, Captain Vass, yet to meet this character. He's been, so it gives us a little bit of a background info on the guy. It says he's been allegedly stealing from the Palamist families, blah, 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 where we can find him. And this is under the investigation of family reunion, which so far, I think, is the main mission. So looking at any of these little characters down here, we can get a sort of a feel for what we have to do. But it's one of those games, I don't know if you ever played a game where there'll be a number of symbols, for example, on a wall, and there's absolutely no way you're going to remember them when you're going around trying to match them up. So I don't know about you, but I take photos with my phone. It's one of those games, you know, kind of need to take notes and join the dots. So don't expect it to be just a kind of standard RPG with progress and attacking and creatures and all that kind of thing. You do need to talk to pretty much everybody. Some of them just give you some background information, others kick you off on a side mission. So I found the mother with the baby down inside a dungeon, as I say, which I got to via a well in the centre of this village. See, these characters all allow you to talk to them,
that hung the Sabinian family,
but they don't really give you any great information. So typically you can just press the old X and crack on, which is what I tend to do. No! Oh, flip it. There's no jump, and the only time you can climb is if you find a ladder. So just bear that in mind. If you do fall off, like I just did, then chances are you may have a walk to try and find your way back to where you were going. Right, so I think it's this way to the well, but no, maybe it's not. So yeah, it's a bit of a maze. It's a bit of a puzzle. There is some combat. So far, it's all relatively similar. The enemies are relatively similar variants. So I believe, well, I have two weapons, a sword and a couple of axes, and I noticed, here we are, here's the well. I noticed in one of the battles that, whoa, no, don't fall down there. No. Okay, we were lucky. Didn't mean to descend. The reason, by the way, I'm using an Xbox controller, but I'm playing on my PC, which I'm playing the installed game, Steam game, code very kindly provided by the developers, Rogue Factor, through GeForce Now. And as such, when I play on GeForce Now, which the previous 3 hours, that's how I played it, I was using a PlayStation controller, and in the settings, which is pretty cool, let's go back to settings. Nope, not there. This one. There we go. You can actually choose, if you go to controls, you can choose which controller you wish to use. So let's go to Xbox, because that's currently what I'm using. Now, on this level, I found a dude, there he is, and opened a door, and that door led me to a place where it's in the village of Jofa, I believe it's called. And in the village there, in this particular instance, I found a place called Munch Crunch. There it is. Now, bearing in mind that the mission that we're currently playing involves us finding some milk for the baby, Munch Crunch being the local village shop with granola, cereal and protein bars, I thought was a possible. So let's have a little look around here. I didn't get much further than this. We'll see if we can find entrance. Now on the door here it says, look, we're closed due to shortages, and I can't see through the windows. Sometimes you can see in the windows, and that gives you a bit of an idea of what's going on in there. Oh yes, that's right. When I came here last, I came across this. Now I happen to have, let me just get out of the way of this a second. I think we're probably okay, but we're going to just grab that. It's just going to give me a level of protection. Now, what you need to do is go after this coloured dude, the green one in this case. When his health is gone, which is about to be, there it goes, you can now attack this fella. But he's impervious to any damage. There you go. While the green, in this instance, the green coloured twin was active. That's essentially your creatures. I mean, there are different variations. I probably didn't give enough detail before, but they start with someone that looks just like this, without a weapon, and they're just kind of mischievous, so you can cut them down pretty quick. Then you get those guys that are kind of twinned up, and I've noticed latterly, as we're progressing, this is mission or section 2 of the map of the game, that they have that kind of colour aura. And as you spotted, I switched in. Let's go back to the old tablet. I think it'll be inventory. Let's have a little look. Quick. Ah, there we go. Yeah. So I switched in one of these kind of coloured things, green one, and that gives us a, here it is, sorry, this fella. And that gives us temporary reduction of terror damage, which is what we applied. It allowed us to take him down pretty quickly. You then just gather some limbic stuff, which I'm not 100% certain yet what its purpose in life is. Let's try going in here. No. You know when you can go in the door kind of pulsates, and there's an X to enter, or A, or whatever the symbol is. So at this point, and as I've mentioned, there is no climb, there is no jump, so you can't physically climb up on top of cars and then try and get up on a roof and that kind of thing, unless the developers have given you a very obvious entry point. And sometimes, when I say obvious, it may be under the building via some kind of secret place. But unless they've made it very obvious, you ain't getting in. And I don't think we're getting into Munch Crunch. I think Munch Crunch is not showing any indication that it has an entry point. So we'll leave Munch and we'll toddle on down here and see if we can find entrance to somewhere else. Now here's a petrol station, the tool shed. So let's have a look, see if we can go in here. You have a drone on your back as well, and I know that this drone becomes really important, but so far it's not been anything more than a remote torch. If I hold down the right bumper or trigger, I always forget which one, and then push down, undocks the drone, there he goes, and then his torch is kind of around you, but not as good as when it's attached, I don't think. It does have sockets that you can push inside or attach adjustments and widgets and bits and pieces. The only one that I found so far, I've not really found any way of using it. It says I have to lock onto a target in order for it to work. But to be honest, by the time I've got into a combat situation and thought about that, I've usually taken out the enemy. I'm playing it on the lowest of the difficulty settings, which is what I always do, because there are too many games, not enough time, and I'm old. So it is what it is. Apologies once again if this game is looking a little stuttery to you. I promise you it doesn't look like that to me. And what's weird is that in OBS that I'm using to stream, it's not showing any drop frames. In fact, it's showing a really high consistent frame rate of 60 frames per second, and that it's banging out at a reasonable bit rate. So I have no idea, and I apologise, and it may just be what I'm seeing on my screen, in which case you may be seeing it perfectly. Do just let me know in the chat. I can see the chat, by the way. I know there's been a few of you come and go, and nobody said hello yet, but a simple hello, a little wave, would be much appreciated, and just let me know if the quality is okay for you. Right, so we have one here with a red, and we have a couple of individuals and another guy over there. You can just about see them. So let's have a look and see. I didn't want that one. I wanted a red one. It's the thing about the way that you choose these. You have to kind of push left and right before you push down, but I typically push down to get it up. Misses. Right, we should be okay now to take these guys out. Oh, one left. Good stuff. Right, so I think we gathered everything there was to be gathered. So oftentimes when you find a little gathering of critters like that, they're hiding, they're guarding something. Now that little yellow light is the indication that there is something here. It's worth having a little look around, make sure you don't miss anything. Check for doors that can be opened. We'll come back to that, don't worry. I haven't forgotten it. I'm just having a little look around. And you can see that the torch-laden drone's pretty useless most of the time, so I personally prefer to dock him, and then wherever you look, your torch, such as it is more active. So let's grab that. It looks like it's just... The proof is in plain sight. A note with an enigmatic phrase in the code N1 found in a garage in Jova, Akasa or Akasa marshes. It's a cryptic clue. What does it mean? Who the hell knows? What you can do, which is quite useful, I guess, not necessarily for that one, but for other clues that have a lot more detail, is you can actually attach them in your tablet so that they can be quickly looked at down here. I don't have any attached, but I'll show you how that works. Let's go to the old tab and load out. So got a few open slots, a couple of slots here. If we come and just grab a clue, let's grab that one. Come out and then push our... There it is. So by pushing down, it gets you a quick and instant entry. And there's a few clues and bits and pieces that you might want to pick up on if you're in a particular mission and it requires you to do a certain level of tasks. Of course, it takes up a slot, so I would say unless it's you know that you're going to need it, just unequip it, which is why in this case. That's kind of how the mechanics of the game work. Can we go in this way? Nope. So you have to kind of look around for clues, and sometimes you'll be really lucky and find something just waiting there for you that you can use to embellish your character. The more stuff you kill, it upgrades the weapon that you're using, so that's quite useful. And this is obviously an area of the town. Oh look, we've got a little save point, so we'll do a quick manual save. This now has locked this area, this particular point in the game, as our return point should we die. And you can die by dropping off stuff, obviously. You're not immune or immortal. Oh look, there's Louis Theroux. What are we doing down there, Louis?
You want to join me?
Plenty of booze to go around. Now I did actually pick up about half a bottle of mead earlier, and I traded it with some guy, but I wish I'd kept it because he wasn't too pleased that it was only a half a bottle of mead. And he gave me nothing in return for the trade. But this guy, you see, he could do with more mead. But it's gone, and I don't think he's too interested in a bottle of milk. But while we're here, we'll have a quick look around. You never know, he may have discarded milk on the basis that it wasn't of an alcoholic level. And there he is with his family. I have to say, the attention to detail and the graphics are really cool. It's an Unreal game, as most are these days, of course. So you know your level of texture is going to be very good. Character's a bit jittery-jottery. I've slowed the character in the settings right down. I'll take you to controls and show you. At the start of the game, when I first installed it, it was set at 50. And it was just all over the shop. I've taken it down to 24. To be honest, you could probably take it down to 20 or even 15. You don't need to have a particularly fast camera. And it just feels a bit more comfortable as you're looking around. You can use mouse and keyboard, by the way. The game says at the beginning that it's been designed for a controller. I haven't used a mouse or keyboard on the game. I typically use a controller anyway, at the best of times. So anyway, nothing in this dude's house by the look of it. He's not left any... I just want to make sure I didn't overlook it or underlook. No. Do we look in this room? He's obviously missing his family. He's taking it out on the bottle. Oh, there is a door here actually that we didn't open. It's probably just the back garden. Yep. Nothing out here, no enemies, nothing hidden behind a tree. The other thing that I've noticed is you'll see on the back of the drone it's got that little green dot, and as you know, you're looking all the time for little dots of light, and that little green dot keeps catching my eye as my character runs around. There we go, we can scan this. Through his voluntary sacrifice, Harlem Lionel, blessed Proto-Martyr number 187th, unmade and cast in oblivion, the hulking fluttering egg, whence the cursed demons have spawned, yet our labours have but begun, though the amine prisms hold their infused and calculated power, still the wretched demons roam unbridled, feasting where they will. What horror have we wrought? Sethris, have mercy upon us, Belgrin. I have no idea. The only thing is, in the early part of the game, you will get these little sort of alien language panels, and you can't read them. It's only when you get the drone, interestingly enough, that it allows you to read them. So it may be worth going back to the earlier levels once you've got your drone, just to check it out, man. Death to all the Sabs, Sabinian dogs, we will kill you. Anyway, that was a bit of a deviation. We didn't find a great deal there. That panel may or may not mean something at some point in the future. I think we've come from this area, haven't we? Anything else down here we missed? Who knows? Let's go up this way. Your battery never runs out on the torch, by the way, so you've no need to worry about the torch being on. I just leave it on all the time. It's a fairly dark game. I haven't seen a change in nighttime, daytime, although in the earlier levels it's very much in the daytime. Whoops. Little crater. What's this? Graveyard? Oh yeah, I have been here before. Now this is inviting you to insert something. Looks like the shape of a clover, but the items that I've got that I can inject are not going to fit. I've tried them, so no point. We clearly still need to find that item to solve that particular mystery, and it's not around here because I've explored it already. They're not usually that close to where you are. And there's a critter. That's quite interesting. So it leaves the bodies of the creatures, which is pretty cool, because a lot of the time in these games they get pulled out to release the memory requirements of the game, I guess is why they do that. Give themselves a bit more, not to choke up the database, because obviously each time they leave a creature, it's got to be recorded, its position and its state and so on, and that all takes up database and memory. Says he who's never developed a game in his life, but I'm sure that's what happens. Right, we're not getting very far. Look, you know what? I'm sure you're thinking, well, this all feels a bit boring. I mean, it's the game. It's very much a puzzle game. It's, gather. Evacuation notice. To all civilians, blah, blah, blah. Evacuate from Jova. Arrived before. So some of this stuff means something, some of it doesn't, I guess. But yeah, it's very much a puzzle game overall, with some level of combat. I have to say, though, their marketing material is exceptional. I'm not sure that it completely defines the game. We can go in here. No, we can't. It's locked. So we're not going in there. But yeah, so that indicates there is a way in to this building. But certainly not through the back door. So yeah, it looks like... Yeah, I have actually been in there, I think. You go around the other side, you can see it pretty much climb up. You can go and chat to that guy. He's not that relevant. But the other side of him, I think you can get through a window. And there's nothing in there. If there was, it's gone. Oh, this looks like a shop. Java, which would be a coffee shop. And the coffee shop would have milk. You would expect, wouldn't you? Again, I think I've investigated this and didn't find a way in, so I'm not going to get too excited. Little big store. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. Mind you, the milk, to be fair, would probably be more like cheese by now. I mean, it's, unlikely to be... Hey, Andrew. Was stuttering earlier. Seems okay at the moment. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I have no idea why, to be honest with you, my friend. Because OBS hasn't reported any issues whatsoever. It's saying it's a really good, clean stream. So, yeah, no idea. I've seen it before with YouTube, and typically what happens is quite odd. Is once the stream's finished and after a couple of hours, you go back and watch it and it's perfect. It's almost like it's doing some processing, which it may well be doing. And once all that's done and the stream's kind of done and finished, it just seems to smooth out. It's very, very odd. I do very little live streaming these days, to be fair. I typically only do it when I have been given a code for a game, because I kind of feel like I'm obligated. They were very generous in giving me a code, as is the case here with Rogue Factor and GeForce Now. Thank you guys. So I'm just holding up my end of the bargain, but no idea why it's doing that. It's very, very odd. That said, I wonder if it's anything. I'm using a direct Ethernet connection to my router, which is 1.1 gig down, 100 and something up, which is more than capable of handling a 1440 stream, which is what this is. However, having said all that, I recently did put an Asus router in, and between my Virgin hub, and set that to modem mode. So it may well be there's some stuff going on there. But as I say, I rarely live stream these days. So if I was doing it on a regular basis, then I would be experimenting and ironing it out. But for the purposes of today, and apologies enough, I think, did we just come down from here? All a bit of an old maze, isn't it? Yeah, we went round the back of there, didn't we? That was the guy that had been drinking. I mean, I've sort of investigated the hell out of this village, to be honest. I wish I could find some milk for that crying baby before I shift on. And there are definitely mysteries here to be solved, but it's difficult to know, having only played 3 and a bit hours. It's difficult to know whether those mysteries can all be solved within the area that they pop up, or whether you need to kind of progress through the game and suddenly get presented with a solution to a mystery from an earlier area. I don't know. I've seen that in so many different games. So what I think we'll do... So I see I'm actually watching it live on YouTube as well, so I can see the stuttering. It's definitely dropping frames. But it isn't, annoyingly, in OBS. And that's the thing that's puzzling me. So look at the stream, what we got going on. Output 15K. I mean, it's the same. Let's go to medium quality, see if that helps. It's the same settings that I used at whatever point in the past I played, live streamed. Anyway, I have made a very small adjustment which may or may not make a difference. So what I'm looking for now is a manual save point. I think there's one around here somewhere. Actually, we do have to go to that, which I think is the Abbey. That was part of the story. I wonder if we can get to it from here. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's looking a bit better, isn't it, I think? From a stuttering point of view. That little minor change that I just made. Looking okay now to me. Fingers crossed. Alright then, so we have to get in here, I believe. Bearing in mind you can't climb, you can't jump, so unless you find the entrance, you're stymied. We've got a critter in there. Looks like it's spewing something. Another one there. Another one there. Says 3. Oh, interact. Now, of course, there's a code. Heck. Right, let's have a review of all the stuff we've got. Annoying. What have we got with numbers on? Nope. Nope. Oh, hang on. 0800 potentially. Maybe. Could try that, I suppose. Who knows? No numbers there. So we're looking for probably a 4-number code. 0800 would work. It may also be on one of those audio tapes. What about 1056? So another potential. 0016. I don't know. Too many numbers. You kind of get the gist. So many numbers to try, and we may not have even found the item with the number we need. I can't believe it would be 0800. That's too obvious. 08. Oh, actually, 6, 7, 4, 6 numbers. So it ain't none of them. At least that does give us. Hello, Martin. How are you, brother? Good to see you, my friend, from the north, from Norvège. GeForce now has got my attention to the extent that I have upgraded from performance to ultimate. Good on you, brother. So I'm using ultimate here, which, as you know, at the current state is a 4080 with lashings of RAM and stuff. But as of next Wednesday, that's going to be beefed up to a 5080, I believe, and all sorts of other gubbins, which is going to be amazing. I actually run a 5070, so I'm playing this game, as you see it here, on a 5070 anyway, and that's then obviously being upstreamed to you guys. I'm playing 4K on a 5070 at 60 frames per second, I believe. Maybe 120. I can go up to 144 on this monitor, but I'm streaming it at 1440 60. So that's kind of what you're seeing. So I've got to find a 6-digit code very, very quickly. Let's have another quick run through. Make sure there are no 6-digit codes hidden away. Arriving before 0800 is recommended. That's the only one we got there. There was nothing there. All there. All there. They could be written, of course. You've got to be careful. That's that one. We'll have a listen quickly to the tapes in a second. There's no 6-digit code in that one. It may simply not have been given to me yet, which is annoying. No. Recording left on until we found the Cadell farmhouse.
Pull him out of there.
Oh yeah, they do give us a transcript, which
Hey, Gus, Arlo, Otis.
means we don't have to play it, which is good.
Mommy and Daddy are still yelling at each other a lot. Daddy's...
No. So I don't think we have the code yet. That's annoying. Nothing in there either. Unless I can see one written on a wall or something, that would all be a bit too simple, wouldn't it? Oh, what's that? On the side of this door, 934E7. I don't... 1, 2, 3, 4... Was that 6, 7? B7, okay. I don't think there was an alphanumeric. I think it was just numbers. What about on the other side? That's small progress. Got excited then. Let's wander around just in the off chance. It's one of the advantages of the old third perspective job. Yeah, so hype, says Martin. Question. Yes. My phone has 120 FPS, but Steam Deck can only do 90 after the upgrade to 5080. So will that say I can't get 120 on my Samsung phone? I don't know, my friend. Possibly. This game looking like my cup of tea, says Martin. Yeah. It's very much a puzzle game, Martin. There is combat, but to be fair, depending how you like your combat, you can play it on relatively easy mode, which you'll see now. Means we've got to take out these coloured things. Yeah, which means that they don't take too much effort, to be fair, to down them. There's another couple over there, but I'm keen to get into this thing. This is a bit too cryptic, but I had a thought. Now, I know that we have here a series of numbers, 934-B7. To be fair, we could possibly guess the middle one. But what I'm just wondering is it too cryptic to think B is second in the alphabet, therefore converting it to 2? I'm sure that's too cryptic. And anyway, I can't remember them now. What was it? 934 something B7. Oh, well, it's got to be worth a go. 934. Oh, no, you've got to guess it. You can't get away from it. Let's put 0, and let's put 2, and then 7. No. It's not going to be that simple. And you'd have to... no. I'd not found the game to be that devilish, to be honest. That would be just a little bit too cryptic. Did you see that 007 gameplay? Yes, I did. Well, I thought it was very like Hitman, which is not unsurprising, given that it's IO interactive, of course. And if that's your thing, then it looks great. Of course, the Bond franchise is now owned by Amazon, so I wouldn't be surprised if there are spin-off shows like that with Bond as Bond in his younger days, which, although I never read Fleming's books, I do believe that there's no great chatter about him in his younger days. He was a commander in World War II, if I remember rightly. Again, I may be wrong. Which, of course, means that any game or any of the films are always incorrect historically, because they always put it in fairly modern or contemporary settings, which is fine. It's what it is, isn't it? Bond, it's a bit like Doctor Who, it kind of changes as needed. There's old Limbic Rod. I remember him with his emu. Let's get rid of this character. Sneak up on him. Oh, look at this. They're just hanging around. Aha! Child's plushie, caked with mud and dried blood, found under the oak tree in a case of marshes. There is a child, love thy neighbour. So that's actually a new mission that's just started. They call it a good deed. Yeah, I don't know, Martin, who they've got. I suspect, I mentioned this on Thursday on Rock and Ray, my gut suspicion is that they will go with a young-ish actor, because I think Amazon particularly are probably quite keen to get the old Gen Zs riled up over Bond, make it more of a, give it some longevity. It is as a hangout, mate. So yeah, I suspect it's not going to be an older actor, somebody in there, probably somebody in their late 20s, early 30s. Of course, one of the downsides of upgrading your weapon by using it more is that it tends to then it locks you into using that weapon until the other one gets upgraded as well. I don't know. I never really bought into Daniel Craig. I always want to call him Craig David. My favourite, it's just my age. I'm not going to say for one moment there's any reason other than age, but my favourite is Roger Moore. I mean, just it's what I grew up with, and I just liked the humour, the dad jokes. You know me, that just really can't go in there yet. Just really appeals to me. But he was my man. I'd like to see another kind of Roger Moore character. I always thought the guy, whose name again escapes me, but the actor that played Sam, I think his name was, in Outlander, the Scottish guy, I always thought he'd make a great Bond, and he's about the right age as well. Good looking, kind of good actor, got it all going on. But unless you ever watched Outlander, you wouldn't even know who I'm talking about, because I don't think he's done a great deal other than that. But yeah, he would be good. And he has good comedic timing as well. So yeah, I think that's be good to bring that back to the role. It's something that Daniel Craig struggled with. I think he wanted to play the guy as a damaged, PTSD-ridden ex-forces guy, which is not unlike, I'm sure, the original Fleming character. Have some of that. I'm not getting a lot of clues answered here. I'm just wondering what to do with that teddy bear. There is a young girl, but in the village. I might take it to her and see if she... Because I think I've yet to give somebody something and have them go, oh yeah, thanks mate, here you go. And I think that's kind of what we're supposed to do with these, the fact that, oh, here's a save point. And let's get back up to the village. Actually, I think it's this way. Is it? Nope. No. It's not that way, it's this way. Why is he running so slow? Oh, that is his fast. We'll give this little teddy bear to the little girl and see if she appreciates it and gives us something in return, like a 6-digit code or key to a door that then unlocks a 6-digit code, and that's kind of how the game works. I should imagine right now IGN, or I often wonder with IGN whether they get given all the secrets and the maps and stuff ahead of a game's release, because they always seem to have these really elaborate sort of, multi-page how to play this game stuff, like literally hours after the game goes live. So they must be given it. I think the little girl is just the other side of here, up in the loft, hidden away. Your old job's 30th anniversary. Oh, enjoy that, my friend. Blimey, it's older than you, Martin. And here is the said infant. Let's see if she wants a teddy.
I don't need this.
Oh, well, stuff you then. What about some milk bottles?
I don't need this.
Oh, okay. I know you don't want anything else. What about this?
I don't need this.
Oh, right. Oh, well. The mystery continues. Reggie? Right, let's get down here. Take care, Martin. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for popping in. It's very kind. Very good to see you. Down the stairs. Right, so having not solved the milk bottle mystery, or the teddy bear for that matter, I'm going to go and find a save point, and I'll take us to the APC. I know, mate. I mean, how ungrateful. And she was offered a free teddy bear. I happen to know there's a save point right here. There it is. We're supposed to be able to get in here, but we can't. So lots of mysteries to be mistered. Well, travel to the APC, which is our base of operations. I'm off to Plymouth this afternoon, Andrew. I'm going to go and see Hamilton at the Theatre Royal, which I'm really looking forward to. I love Hamilton. Last weekend we went to London, that big London place, to see ABBA Voyage. So I've got a sandwiched week of theatre and music. Right, so this is the APC, and it's a fairly useless place because you can open a data pad, which you can do anywhere you want, but you can't choose. There's some guns there, but you can't choose them and do anything with them. That change that I made to OBS certainly fixed that stutter. Apologies to earlier watchers. So the thing that you do is go to your navigation computer, and this actually gives you an overview of the game area. So we are at the Acacia Marshes. We started at the Sendra Forest. Now, interestingly enough, it's not giving us anywhere else to go. So what that tells me is that whatever we need to do within the Acacia Marshes has not been done. You thespian, I know. I have treaded the boards in my time. So yeah, we got to go back, dagnabbit, and complete it. We do have the Cadell family. I might just go back to the earlier map a second, because there was the Cadell family, as it mentioned. There was a guy there who did ask for something. I wonder if I've collected it now and I can go and take it to him, maybe to be justly rewarded. So this is essentially a loading screen taking us. It's just ditched the map and put us in with a new one. Just kind of can't remember how to get to the Cadell family. Bearing in mind there are no maps, although there was that map within the APC. That's the only time you get to see a map, and it's not very helpful. I mean, I guess you could take a photo of it and print it out or something. You do get a compass, here it be, which you can temporarily use. It will fade off in a second. So if somebody says to you, you need to go north, then you can whip this out and send yourself off. And funnily enough, this guy did tell me to go north, which means I really should be looking to go south if I want to find him again. But not through this fence or that hill. Let's go around this way. And there may well be areas in this map that I didn't fully explore. Oh yeah, we should be able to read these now. We couldn't do this before. Fort Mort's Royal Garrison Stables. Yeah, well, that was useful. Yeah, you need the drone to read those, which I mentioned earlier. So actually that is a good reason to go back to this older. But as you can see, it's all very dark and dim. The whole game's pretty dark and dim, to be honest. It's a dark and dim game. Oh yeah, there's something that I didn't do before that we may be able to do now, if we can get up there. Yeah, I know what I was going to say. It's not an open map. It's not a sandbox. There are definite paths that you can go on, and you can't really go very far off the beaten track. So sometimes just getting up a hill is a mystery in and of itself. That's the other side of the fence that we were looking toward. And we're back to where we started. Oh look, a simple one. Yeah, so we're in level 1. This is level 1, essentially. Each map is at a higher level, so these critters are easier to take down. They don't have a lot going on. With your gamma. Yeah, I mean, I could turn up the brightness, and I do that, to be fair. You're actually seeing it brighter, funny enough, than I am. I've got it turned down a bit on this monitor. Look at that dude. Come on then, mate. Jump over the fence. Bet you can't. It's just a dark game. I mean, that's its intent. I think, and I may be wrong on this, you might want to research this yourself, I think it's a French studio. I only say that, it's not very intelligent, but I only say that because I was having a quick look at the credits, and they were very French sounding. Could have, of course, been Canadian, or any other French province. Oh, look, can I milk you? Because that would be really good. Can I kill you for your milk? That's not going to work, is it? Oh, I was so hoping that it would go, yeah, mate, grab on one of those and give it a yank. It didn't. It did not. I wonder why we call Americans in the old slang. I don't hear it so much anymore, but I wonder why we used to call them Yanks. I wonder what the origin of the etymology for the word yank is. It's probably Dutch, to be fair, or Native American, potentially Spanish, but more likely Dutch. It has a Dutch feel. Now, this was where the dude was, that this family guy. There he is. Let's see if we can trade him something. We'll start with the bear. No. We'll go with the watch. Did I go with the watch? No. Oh, it is. Yes. What do I get in return? Nothing. But the deed was accomplished. Do I not get a bonus or something? Oh, come on.
You startled me. Listen.
You ain't giving me nothing, creatures, but that's just some old general knowledge. Oh. I was hoping. Having said that, I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like my health bar just got longer. I can't believe that extends every time you succeed. His son, literally, look at that, was Elvis. Wow. Our mama cries. That is amazing. Fancy that. Well, mate, I'm glad I helped you, and I've offloaded one of the items that I was carrying, which I suppose gives me a free slot. And it's quite nice to let's do a little save. It's quite nice to achieve something, but you know what? You could have given me some milk. That would have been more helpful. Can I go up here? I don't think that. I don't think it's supposed to. Just quickly look around the building. Because of course, the first time you come here, it's very much the tutorial end of things, so you don't really appreciate everything. There's like a hint of sunlight. Is it literally changing today before our very eyes? Well, we solved something. I mean, that's not to be sniffed at. The cow didn't give us any milk. That's definitely to be sniffed at. No, he didn't. But I don't think. Did I? Yeah, no, I did offer them to him. Do you know? You've got me thinking now, Andrew. Let me go back and try that. That would be so cool. Let's have a little look. Father of Elvis. Would you like
No, I don't mind handing over some milk. As long as don't feed any Sabine.
Andrew, you little genius. Well done. We got some milk. Woohoo. Oh, mate. Good job. Actually, if we use this, we can travel back to the APC as well. Oh yeah, teamwork, mate, makes the dream work. So now we can go and solve the baby conundrum. He did. He did. So cool. Right, so go back over to the navigation computer and down to Acacia Marshes with a case of milk. Hey! That is so good. That is so good. Mate, I'd never have solved that if you hadn't suggested it. Alright, we're back here. Oh, we can skip this. That's good. Don't need to see it twice. And we've got to get into the village, which I think is this way. And once we're in there... No, it's not that way. Once we're in there, we've got to head for the well. Go down the well, unless we see Crunch Bunch beforehand. Oh, look at that. It won't let me through, even though it's a thing. Oh, yeah, I've got to run across the marshes. I forgot that. There's this annoying journey that we need to make first. Okay. What about this dude?
This won't bring my family back.
What about this? Another one. Yes, that's two. Three we've done in the space of 10 minutes. Nice. Another good deed, but we getting anything back from you?
Family can now rest in Setherus.
Anything? I'm not giving him the milk. He can get stuffed.
This won't bring my...
No, you've already got your family. Didn't want the teddy. Oh, no, hang on. She didn't want the teddy, did she? Let me try him with the teddy.
This won't bring...
Okay. Point taken. Maybe the baby wants the teddy. I don't know. Let's get ourselves across the marshes. Quick save, so we don't have to come back to this point again. Okay, yeah, we're on the final trek. Once I've offloaded this milk, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be calling it a day. I've got to take my dear old dad out for a coffee, which is what I try to do on a Saturday morning. Oh. There's not very much bleeding. If anybody finds this, make them pay. I did. I made them pay for you, my friend. They're all done and dusted. Just double checking there's no more. Oh, look at that. There's like an observatory or something. But we mustn't be distracted. There's a poor baby crying. Desperately in need of sustenance. Don't drop off there. That is a 100% way to die. Even though it's only a short drop, I've done it. And you do not survive. And you can't just jump. There is no jump mechanism. You've got to go round. Oy vey. There's a big old winged critter. Oh, hello. Module forward charge. Unit propels the user towards a target, resulting in high velocity impact force to all limbic entities in its trajectory. Oh, another one. Drone bypass. Circumvent built-in whatever. I wonder if that's how we get past that 6-digit code, using one of those with the drone. Could be. Rosemary, the tea lady. Could be. Another little 70s kids TV reference there. I'm full of them. Right, let's get up here. As you can see, actually, as you go and it kind of starts to piece together, it can be quite fun. I'm going this way because there was a way of getting out of the dungeon where Munch Crunch was, but I'm not sure if that's where we are. And then we'll head up here to the well, where the baby is not so well. Generator. Don't want to go in there. Where's the well? Whoops! We've got caught. Ah, that's it. Right, Frank. There it is. Down we go. We have to go down again. And then we have to go up. Go to the end of here. Done that one. Been there. Oh, there was a bit of a noise. I killed the critter that was in here. Oh, he's back. Yeah, but you haven't left me any new goodies, have you? Interesting. Respawn. When I was saying that it marks the position of your felled enemies. I'll try and find my way back. I hear the baby crying. It was kind of hidden, but we will get there. We'll find it. It's so dark. Just went in there, so that's not much use. Came down there, no use either. Right, so it's not to the left. And there's nothing to the right. This can't be a dead end. Let's just make sure that I didn't ignore anything to the right. Oh! Sorry about that. Smacked my mic. Smacked my mic up. I did see, I don't know if it's of any interest, Andrew, but I did see on one of the discount gaming sites, I forget what it's called, Instant something, they had it at £21 instead of 45. So if that's of interest, hunt that down. CD keys as was. Now it's called Loaded, I think. I don't think they were that cheap. About 30 odd, I guess. Alright, take this little guy out of here. Now then, we're very close to the baby, to remind myself. seem to remember it was to the right. Oh, there we are. Up you go. It's kind of hidden away. That constant... Ah! Well, that wasn't very good, but that was where we needed to go, I think. Or did we go up here? Did I just fall down where we climbed up? I don't know if I did. I've got a feeling. Here we are. Well, we're not, but we're very close. Aha! Good job I didn't go back up. Hey, guess what? Milk!
Blessed be his gaze. You found some milk. This is how we defeat the serpent. Small acts of kindness like this one. When the time is right, Uli and I will escape Jova.
Get on with it. Land of milk and honey. Excellent. What about the teddy bear? You fancy that one?
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Right, so nothing else from that. We just achieved it. I kind of wish they would give you something. Otherwise, you sort of don't really feel like there's any point in doing it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And nothing else. Let's just try the talk.
When the time is right, Uli and I will escape Jova.
Yeah, it doesn't... yeah, whatever. Oh, you miserable old cow. You've got to be a bit more grateful. Giving me something. I am ultimately a material girl. Now I'm stuck. God damn it. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we're going to conclude this play. Hopefully it's given you a good old feel for the game. I mean, there is a, it's nice to be nice and get good deeds done. And who knows, maybe they all add up in the future of the game. There may be, good deeds done equals some kind of thing. I don't know. I haven't got that far. We've only played 4 hours. I'm going to say, although it's probably not a huge game, I'm going to suggest that because a lot of these puzzles, they're convoluted and have extensive clues and stuff hidden all over the place, it's probably going to take you a lot longer. Look, they're back to life again, aren't they? No. Then, it's like this, for example. You can rotate these one way. I have no idea why. I assume it's something to do with this and getting access to the boxes, but they only go one of 2 ways, and I've tried them independent of each other. Nothing changed. And I've tried them together, and nothing changed. So stuff like that, it's, I don't know, you're almost going to want to have a good old AI agent sat beside you, like Perplexity, and constantly feed it. I'm at this point in the game, Hell is Us, what should I be doing? And what it does, which is really cool, is it goes and it checks out Reddit and stuff, and other sites, IGN and things, and it comes back and says, yeah, you need to do this, which is pretty cool. I haven't actually used that yet. I haven't had the need so far, but I can see myself resorting to it in the near future, for sure. It did add fresh milk, thanks to the father of Elvis. All right, we now need to exit. And is it getting lighter, Andrew, or is it just me? Is it just wishful thinking? Feels like it's sort of just before dawn. There is a dog. I wonder if the dog would like the toy.
Hey, hands off.
Hands off yourself.
I don't want it.
Okay, I'll keep it. Right, so let's exit. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to head down to the blacksmith's. There it is, that sign. Head down to the blacksmith's where there is a save point. But before we exit completely from the game, I'm just going to try that. Was it down here? No, it was miles away, wasn't it? Do you remember there was the 6-digit code thing? Oh, there's a critter. Let's take him out. And his mate. Yeah, like you said, Andrew, I think going away and then back into the level respawns. That's okay. None of them are, at this point in the game, particularly troubling. Particularly on the level I'm on. Yeah, so what I was thinking was, if we can get down quickly to the 6-digit code entry base, there was that drone thing that implied if you used it, it would override a thing, and it had so many uses, and I'm quite keen to try that. Having said that, it does need me to interact, which let's have a little look. Don't think I can add it to my. Oh, here you go. That single-use bypass circuit to circumvent built-in safety protocols. That's more likely a safety protocol of the drone, isn't it? And advanced logic modules. I have no idea. We've got 8 of them though, so we may as well give it a go. No abilities on cooldown. Yeah, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn you apes to hell. Oh, well, it was worth a try. It was worth a try. Right, back up here to... Actually, it wasn't this way, was it? Or was it? To the save point. Might just take this ugly-looking mother out of the way. Yeah, it is lighter, isn't it? That's what I was thinking. I mean, maybe there is a day-night thing. Oh, push me into the crater. Or maybe it's just wishful thinking, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But it does kind of feel like it's ever so slightly lighter. Maybe what we should do is just like pop him into a safe corner and leave him for a few hours and come back. And see if it suddenly become day. It does feel lighter to me though, I agree. It definitely does. Right, so back to the old blacksmith's shop where there be a save point. And then we'll call it. There we go. Excellent stuff. Well, we solved a few mysteries, which was quite fun. There is a thing there to be collected, but you can't get into the building without a key, which we don't have. Anyway, enough of these shenanigans. A father requires a coffee. Thank you so much for watching, Andrew. I really appreciate you as well, hanging around, my friend. And also for turning up on Thursday's Rock and Ray. As mentioned, on Thursday I'm going in for a considerable operation on Wednesday, which is going to take me off my feet for about a month. So there will be no more Rock and Ray until October. And depending how things go, it's unlikely that you'll be seeing me before then. But I do intend to return, unless there's a complication, in which case, thank you very much for all your patronage over the years, guys. But I'm sure that ain't going to happen. And in the meantime, please do leave a little like, leave a little comment in the post-chat comment description thing and tell your friends. What the heck. Another big thank you to GeForce NVIDIA now, who are making huge waves and history this coming Wednesday, while I am completely out of it in some kind of morphine induced anesthetic. They're releasing GeForce Now 5080, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. So go and give it a try. Treat yourself. Why not? Why don't you? And of course, to Rogue Factor for the code for Hell Is Us, which is a great little game. I hope you've enjoyed it. And there it is, Hell Is Us. I will see you all in October. And I hope you have a great month of September. Take care, everybody, and I will see you soon.